Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for joining us today for our monthly webinar. My name is Tony Carroll, and I am the South Carolina State Manager and Chief Training Officer here at Security Title. And I'm going to be moderating today's presentation. Before we begin, just a few housekeeping items. You are in listen-only mode, so you'll be able to ask questions freely through the questions box that you're going to see on the GoToWebinar panel. There's also a comments box there as well. So if you have any questions or comments, feel free to put them in the box. We will address all questions at the end of the presentation. If we don't have time to get to them all, we will get back to you with those answers. So again, you're muted, so feel free to jump on some chips or popcorn as we go through this presentation. I'm excited to have my really good friend Barbara McLean here with ICE Mortgage Technology, Simplifile. She's going to be talking about how e-recording can streamline your production. Barbara is the Regional Sales Director with Simplifile and manages the Southeast, covering Kentucky, Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Florida, and South Carolina. But Simplifile is in all states. Barbara has been with Simplifile for 13 years and has worked in all her states to assist with legislation and e-recording standards to implement e-recording in counties throughout her territory. Barbara also works with all submitters in her territory to educate them on e-recording and the other products Simplifile offers. As legislation passes in her states for e-notary, Barbara assists her customer base to become familiar with their e-sign events, which is a platform to perform e-sign, RON, and IPEN transactions. Welcome, Barbara.
Thank you, Tony. Thank you for having me here. Hello, everybody, and good afternoon. I'm excited to share some details about e-recording and how it can simplify your recording process and get your documents back to your customers and lenders a lot quicker. I do have a little slide here I'm going to go through, and Tony, if you have any questions, feel free to stop me and let me know. We are e-recording in all of the states now, finally. I think, oh gosh, there was a state up north that was the last one to go live. Kentucky was the second to the last one to go live, but however, Kentucky is moving right along and hopefully have all their counties e-recording by the 1st of next year.
Perfect. Can you tell us a little bit about what e-recording is for our listeners?
Yeah, so what e-recording is normally you would mail your documents or walk your documents into the county to have the documents recorded. With e-recording, basically we have a platform that you would set up, and you have your account. You can have unlimited users, but you create your packages inside Simplifile, upload your documents once they've been signed, and we submit them electronically to the county. It really expedites the recording process. So instead of it being piled up on the desk there waiting to be recorded, or you're standing in line, you can submit it right from your desk. It takes like 5 minutes to create a package, submit it over to the county, and you can move on to working on something else. So it really streamlines the process. Also getting your documents back right into your Simplifile account or your title closing software, which we'll talk about here in just a minute. But it just streamlines that. Also with rejections, it's very time saving. I'll go over some of the benefits here in just a minute. I'm trying to get there we go. So we are in over 2,500 counties that you're able to e-record in. Once you are a customer, you are going to have access to all of our counties nationwide. So even if you're recording something out of state, if that county is in our system, you will be able to add that county to your account and record there. We do have a bunch of other products here, and we'll go over those towards the end. I really want to get deep into the e-recording process. But we have more than 30,000 agents that we're working with in 2,500 counties, with over 90% of the US population having an e-recording county to record in. So basically, you're going to prepare your documents. So after the closing, you'll prepare your documents. Like I said, you'll upload them into Simplifile. You basically create an envelope. You're going to select your document type. You're going to name your package, select the county. You're going to upload your documents. It's going to ask for some criteria from the county, maybe grant or grantee, consideration, that kind of information. You're going to enter that in. Once you have all your documents uploaded, you submit it to the county. Our system does track the process. So as soon as you send it, our system will show you it's been sent. As soon as the county receives it, it will show received. And then it's either going to come back recorded or rejected. If it comes back rejected, it's going to give you a reason why the county rejected it, but it comes back immediately. So if you're mailing documents in currently and you get them back a week later and find out there was a signature missing, and then you've got to get it signed and then put it back in the mail and send it back, it's very time consuming. With the rejection and e-recording, you can just correct that page, upload it back in there or whatever the rejection reason was, and then resubmit it right back to the county. Also, when it comes to fees, let's say you're mailing your documents in or you're going down to the county and your check is for the wrong amount. If it gets rejected at the county there, that you're going to have to go back to your office, get a new check or mail it in. With e-recording, you don't pay for anything until your documents come back recorded. So you're never going to have to worry about sending the wrong amount of money to the county because we're only going to charge you what the county recorded it at. So that's going to save a lot of time too. So again, here they're going to review the documents. They review them just like they would in the paper world, except they're reviewing it on their computer screen. And then as soon as they record it, it actually moves into their archives and would be available online immediately. So it expedites the process for the county as well because they're not having to mail those documents back. They're not having to scan them in, and they are made available to the public immediately.
And can you record all documents in all counties, or is that different between county and state? What is the process for that?
Yeah, great question. So yes, it does depend on the county on what kind of documents they're going to accept. When you do select your county to record in, there is a tab where you can click the doc types and it'll show you all of the document types that are available to be recorded in that county. And they do vary. They may be named differently. For example, in Tennessee, a mortgage is a trust deed. So if you're in another state and you're looking for a mortgage in Tennessee, you're not going to see it. It's going to be listed under trust deed. So I do always tell everybody when they are selecting the doc type to make sure they look through the entire list. Some counties will lump all deeds under deeds, and some counties break all the different types of deeds out. So it will give you a list. And what we do is when we integrate with the county, we pull all of their doc types and fees from their software vendor. So we're integrated with their software vendor to be able to pass these documents back and forth and to make sure that all the data is correct. Again, helping eliminate, human error, eliminate your documents getting lost in the mail. It's just a really secure, quick, easy way to get your documents recorded and back to you.
And then you've got some of the benefits too. You mentioned cost savings. What about recording gaps? Does that help with that as well?
It does. Now, documents are going to sit in the county's queue in the order they're received. So they do get recorded in the order they're received. You do get a full history trail on your documents inside the account. So you'll be able to see when the county reviewed it, when the county recorded it, and when it came back to your account. So there's a full audit trail on the whole package from the time you created it to the time that you printed it off and, delivered it to your customer in there.
What are some of the other benefits of e-recording?
So e-recording. So with the title industry, we are integrated with a lot of the title software, closing softwares. That is a great benefit because it will actually reduce your keystrokes. So basically if we're integrated with your software vendor that you're using, when you're ready to record, you would actually access your Simplifile account within your closing software. And you're going to do most of your work in there like you would normally do anyways. And then you would click to open up your Simplifile account, and it's actually going to pull your documents over. It's going to pull the grantor grantee information over. So all you'll have to do is open it up, just check to make sure everything's okay, and then hit submit. So that saves a lot of time on keystrokes. And then when the documents come back recorded, it moves back into your closing software as well.
Yeah, and some of the things that I've seen, it brings back all the recording data, so the date they recorded the book and page, so title agents don't have to rekey that in. I've seen some of the integrations return back the fees as well, the recording fees and the transfer tax to be able to make sure they're staying in compliance. So I've seen some of that. So basically when they go type their policy, it's just a few clicks of a button and their policies are out the door because you've done that e-recording process directly through your software.
Right. And it's just really great, especially during COVID. the only way people were able to get most of their documents recorded was through e-recording, because the counties were closed and the only way they could receive documents. So it really is beneficial. Or let's say you're working and it's storming outside and you don't want to leave to go to the county. You just do everything right from your desk. You're not having to pay somebody to go sit at the county while your documents are getting recorded. You basically create your package and then you can move on to whatever you need to do that day. So it really will save a lot of time on with e-recording. It's an amazing thing. I absolutely love it. I was in the real estate business for 16 years prior to being with Simplifile, and I wish we would have had it back when I was selling real estate, because it would take us months to get recorded documents back to our customers.
And in a world of fraud, we didn't talk about this question, so I'm sorry if it's off the right field. But in the world of fraud, and I remember when we worked together, there was the term pirates in the recording world. You guys do a lot of vetting on that before somebody can actually record the documents. Can you talk about that a little bit?
We do. First of all, we do not allow individuals to set up accounts. You do have to be a business. When we have an auto process where you set up your account through our website. And when you do that, it will trigger our LexisNexis to do a full verification of the business and the person setting up the account. If they can't verify it, it will kick it back out to us unverified. And then we have to manually collect, data, whether it be a business license, driver's license, whatever. But because due to ICE policies, we do have a very strict vetting process that companies have to be approved. They have to go through the vetting process in order to set up an account.
Perfect. Yeah. So always looking for ways. So it's another way to eliminate some of that fraud that's going on in the world. Make sure that it's a viable person recording those documents.
Yeah, because people will try to make up a business name, and our system will kick it out if it can't find it, recorded with the state.
And then how do you know if a document has been rejected? What kind of process does that look like?
So great question. So when you submit your package, whoever the user is, they'll have their own username and password. So whoever created the package, there's a full history log. It'll tell you everybody that's worked on that package. So let's say, Tony, you were to submit a package and you were out the next day and it got rejected, and I logged in to the account and I saw that there was a rejected package and I corrected it and resubmitted it. It's gonna log by username who worked on that package. So as soon as you correct it and resubmit it, everything's going to be logged in there. And I think I may have deterred from your question. Could you reiterate that to me one more time? I'm sorry.
No problem. We're just talking rejections and how we know if a document's rejected.
So whoever created the package will get an email notification when their package has been recorded or rejected. However, if the person's not in, whoever has access to the account as an e-recording user, when they log in, they're going to be able to see all the packages for the entire company. Now, they can set filters if they only want to see the stuff they're working on, but as an admin, they would be able to see every package that's in there. So if something does get rejected and that person who created it got the email and they weren't in, somebody else could go in there and correct it.
Which is perfect, right? Because today, if you walk that document in, you may drop it off and it may be a day, maybe two, maybe a week to find out that something's been rejected. Or if you mailed it in, it takes that much time to get back to you. So
I think that is one of the best benefits of e-recording is the rejection turnaround time. Like, I mean, you can't, especially, and the money savings, let's say you're FedExing your documents to the county and it gets rejected. So there you pay $25 and then $25 to get it back. And then you have to fix it, and then you're spending $25 again to send it back over to the county and $25 to get it back again. So it saves a lot of time and money on the rejection side there.
Perfect. So I'm seeing on the screen, as of the last count, you've got 2,520 counties that you are e-recording in. If somebody wanted to find out if their county and their state is e-recording, can they find that on your website?
They can actually. If they go to simplifile.com, they're going to click on the Learn More tab, and then they're going to click on e-recording at the top of the screen and scroll down, and they'll see this map like I'm showing right here. And then they can click on the state, and it'll show them all the counties in that state that are e-recording.
And I know you don't specifically do New York, but do you know if Richmond County is e-recording today?
I would actually have to log in
Yeah.
to see
Okay.
that, yeah, but I can definitely let you know.
For sure, yeah. But yeah, feel free to go to the website too and click on your state, county, and you'll see what counties can be recorded and what documents in those counties. So
And
that's a
we are,
great
yeah,
resource.
we are adding counties every single day. We have new counties coming on, so that list changes all the time. And once you are a Simplifile customer and you set up your account, if there's any states that you've added to your account to record in, anytime we add a new county, it is going to be in our news feed. So when you click on that every day, it'll let you know if a new county has come on, so you can go into your system and add it to your account.
Perfect. So
Yeah.
we've talked a lot about e-recording, all of the benefits, how it can help reduce data redundancy and push things out the door a lot more efficiently. You guys also have some other products that you have available?
We do. I did want to go over the payment methods real quick. I have that on here, eliminating check writing.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, so we have 3 different payment options when it comes to the title and closing industry. Usually our ACH or e-check are our main options. We do offer credit card, but there is a service fee for every time we charge the card on the credit card. We do have a license fee that has to be paid up front. A lot of people will set up their credit card or an operating account for that. So the ACH would be an automatic draft out of your account each evening after the close of business. And we would pull one lump sum for any documents that came back recorded that day. And then the next morning you would get a banking detail report and it would break down each one of the recordings that was in the lump sum that we pulled. Now, a few years ago, well, many years ago, Alta Best Practices put into place the ACH block. So we rolled out our e-check option, which is a fantastic option. And how that works is you would set up your payment account for e-check. And as your documents come back recorded, you would log back into your Simplifile account, click on the payment tab, and it would display each one of your e-checks that needs to be paid. So it's going to have your package name on there, it's going to have the date, and then it's going to have the total that's due. So whatever the county recording fees are, and then our submission fee. And then all you have to do is take that check that you cut at closing and put that check number in our system, and then you submit the payment. So our system actually creates an electronic check, submits it through the bank, and makes your payment. And so you can just write e-check on your check that you wrote at closing, keep it in your file. That way you know you wrote an e-check, but that check is made out to Simplifile. So when you get your bank statement, it'll show that check number, Simplifile, and that amount on there. So really easy way to reconcile your books.
That's perfect. And then it fully reconciles within the escrow account. So
Yeah.
definitely a secure payment transfer, or the push as well, or the pull from the account.
Yeah.
Definitely helps.
And with your fees not being incorrect, getting down to the county and you're $2 short, you won't ever have to deal with that again because we only charge you once the documents come back recorded.
Or have a separate recording account, makes life a whole lot easier.
Yes, yeah. So we do have a lot of title companies that do have a separate checking account that we can ACH from. So, it just depends on if you want that extra step or if you want to have us just automatically pull it and then you can reconcile. Either way is really great, but with the best practices, e-check option has become very popular.
And easy to set up too, which is great.
Very easy to set up. And you can have multiple payment accounts in there. The system will default to one account. So if you have different payment accounts that you're paying things out of, you would be able to, before you submit your package, if you had multiple payment accounts in there, you would be able to select which payment account you want it to come from before you submit. If you don't do that, it will default to the main account that is set up. But we do have it where you can have multiple payment accounts set up in there as well.
Perfect. Anything else you'd like to share on e-recording?
I think that's it. I do want to go over some of our other great products if we have just a few minutes. We have rolled out our e-sign events, and in the states where they have passed legislation for IPEN and or RON, we have a wonderful platform. And the great thing about it is it would be enabled right inside your Simplifile account. So you would use your same username and password. Everything's located in one location. So we do have a RON platform. It's very easy to use, very user-friendly, and we actually store your videos for you. Of course, you do have to have your RON certification, and you do need to have a digital certificate in order to set up your remote online notary credentials. For example, in South Carolina, they only allow for IPEN, so once you have your IPEN certification, You do also still need to have your digital certificate. But that digital certificate is good for any platform. So if you already have one, you don't have to buy a new one if you decide to use our platform for RON or IPEN. And then you can use it for just e-sign only as well. Also, our collaboration and post-closing, that is a free service to our settlement agents. It is lender generated, and it's a great way for our lenders to collaborate with the title companies. They send their orders over. Again, it's all accessed through your Simplifile account. So if one of our lenders sends you over, we'll just say for a post-close, once you e-record those documents, we will automatically send the recorded image back to the lender, and then they may just ask you to upload the final title policy and any closing trailing closing documents into Simplifile, and then we deliver them electronically. So a lot of great benefits.
So you're delivering those recorded documents back to the lenders without the title agent having to do anything. That's going to save a ton of time.
If they send over the order, so if they send over an order to you for post-close, it'll let you know inside Simplifile. You would click on that link inside there for your loans, and the lender will tell you exactly what they need. But if you e-record those documents, then we will automatically send that back to them, and then they'll ask you to do the final title policy and any other closing documents that you have that are trailing behind the closing that need to be submitted to the lender.
And does those features also integrate within the different software platforms?
That's a good question. I'll have to get back with you on that one.
Okay, yeah, sorry. Yeah, and it's great that, and as far as the policies go, are they able to upload those if a lender requests? Are they able to upload those back to the lender?
Yes, so they'll have a place where it'll say what documents the lender's requesting, and then they'll just scan them in and upload them into Simplifile, and then we deliver them to them. And it's a live atmosphere, so as soon as they upload them, it's sent to the lender.
Perfect. Yeah, that makes life a lot easier. And again, we're looking at now's the time to take a look at our processes, to see what we're doing, see where we've got data redundancy, duplication of efforts, and to be able to have a better process in place so that when the skies open up again, that we are ready and prepared.
Yeah, and we actually have a lot of title companies that may not be e-recording yet that have settlement accounts with us already. So they've already maybe processed some documents with one of our lenders, and we can actually just enable e-recording in that account. So if you add e-recording to it, then you're not having to upload your recorded documents when they come back into Simplifile. We'll automatically send it if you're e-recording it. If you're interested in seeing a demo on any of these products, I'd be more than happy to schedule time with any of you to see them.
Perfect. Anything else on those products before we open up the floor to questions?
I think that's it. Ask away.
We've got a couple questions that have come in here. So let me just start here. How long does the original document have to be retained?
That's a great question. So that's going to be up to you. We don't have any guidelines on that. So when you scan in your document and it gets recorded through Simplifile, that is your new original, because that's going to be what's on record at the county. So the county is actually sending you back that recorded image. That recorded image is going to have their stamp on it. That's what you're going to see online. So that wet signature copy is actually no longer the original anymore. However, some lenders do want it back. So you would just print off the recorded copy from Simplifile and submit it back. Sometimes the owners of the property want, the document, the wet signed document. That document's not going to be recorded. So I always tell my customers to make sure when they get the recorded images back through Simplifile, if they are going to hold on to that wet signature copy, to write on there that it was electronically recorded and the date and maybe the recording information, for two reasons. If you're keeping it in your file, you don't want to accidentally record it again. And two, you know that if you're sending it to someone that you have an electronic copy and you have that wet signature copy, but they're not going to record it again either because you've written on it.
Perfect. Great advice. And then if somebody wanted to learn more about the costs and fees, we can share out your information, or can they find that on the website?
Any other?
Oop.
Yeah, actually, if you want to share out my information, that'd be great. It's probably going to send you to the 800 number if you go to the website. But I'm Barbara McLean, and again, I cover Tennessee, Kentucky, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, and Florida. But if you're in any of the other states, just email me. I'd be more than happy to get you over to the regional sales director for that location. We are a great team. We work really well together. So if you are in one of the states that I don't cover, please feel free to email me and I'll make sure that that salesperson gets it.
Perfect. And another question came in on how do you handle transfer and mortgage tax payments?
Great question. So with the county, when we're integrated, when you upload, let's say you're uploading a deed and a mortgage, it's going to ask you to put in the consideration for the taxes. Now we collect those for you on behalf of the county. Now, except for in Arkansas is different. Arkansas, you have to put your tax stamps on there. So you pay for those up front, you put them on your document, and then you upload your document. But most of the states were collecting the transfer tax and conveyance tax and the mortgage tax. Any taxes on any of the documents, we're gonna collect those and pay the county electronically.
Perfect. We've got a question here, may or may not have to get back to them on, but we'll read it in here and see if we have a solution for it. But in Ocean City, Maryland, they have to take their deeds to get stamped for wastewater payments before they take it to the courthouse. Is that something that Simplifile offers? Is that something that you could do today?
Yeah, I'm not familiar with Maryland. I would have to get with Brian Kilfoyle on that. So if you want to email me that question, Tony, I can make sure it gets answered.
Yes, absolutely. I will shoot these all off to you so you have the questions and we can get back to anybody that we weren't able to answer their questions for. We'll give another few minutes. That was the last question so far, but we can give everybody another minute to see if there is anything else that we can answer for you. I will, did your last slide have your contact info, Barbara?
I don't think it's on here. No, it's not. I should have put
Okay.
that on.
We could, you want to throw it in the chat on the GoToWebinar panel. So if you put in the chat, just make sure everybody's included. That'll share off all. And now anybody can reach out to me or your state manager for additional information. So while Barbara's going to do that, I don't see any additional information. Let's see. Wait, hold on. Make sure.
I don't see where it'll allow me to.
Put in the chat.
Yeah, it's
I'll
only
share
allowing
it off
me
with
to.
anybody. Somebody's asking if we can go back over the payment options again.
Yes, most definitely. So we have 3 different options. There's the ACH, which is the automated clearinghouse, e-check, and credit card. So ACH would be an automatic draft out of your account after the close of business each day. We pull in one lump sum for any documents that came back recorded. So we're only going to charge you for the documents you got back into your account recorded. Pull in one lump sum, we pay the county electronically, and then you would get the banking detail report the next morning. That would break down each one of your transactions. So it's going to break it down by the county, and then it's going to have the package name, the documents broken down, what the charges were for each document, and then our fees, and then a total. And then with the e-check, you would go back into your Simplifile account after your documents come back recorded. You can click on the payment tab anytime during the day. We do ask that those get paid daily. If it does go past 2 days, they will suspend the account until they're paid because we do pay the county up front. So basically it's being reimbursed back to us with your payment. So you would log into your account, click on the payment tab, and then it's going to pull up your e-check queue. It's going to display each one of your transactions that needs to be paid. It's going to look like a little check. It's going to have the amount in there. So you would just take your check number you cut at closing, put that in there and hit submit. Our system's going to create an electronic check to submit through the bank, and it's going to show up on your bank statement that you wrote a check to Simplifile for that amount. And then of course with the credit card, we would charge for each transaction. Now credit card's not available in every state. And usually in the title industry, you're not using credit card because it's hard to reconcile your fees.
Right.
So a lot of our people that are doing like notice of commencements or miscellaneous documents will use credit card, but we do charge a 2.5% service fee for every time we hit the card.
Gotcha. And you help with all of this during onboarding so that a customer will know how to do all that when they get onboarded.
Yes. And they can actually get set up right from our website. So if they go to simplifile.com again, they can click on the Learn More tab. That's going to take you to the Simplifile page, and then you would click on the Get Started tab. If you do already have a settlement account, though, you do want to make sure you contact us so we can enable that in your current account. And that way you're not having to log into 2 different accounts to do 2 different things.
Perfect. Well, that concludes our webinar here for today. I do thank everybody for joining us today, and thank you, Barbara, for participating. It's great information, and will really make our agents a lot more efficient in their operations.
Yes, thank you, Tony. I appreciate the opportunity to do this today.
So our next webinar is going to take place on November 16th, also a Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Central. We're going to have April Gentry with Closing Lock, and she's going to talk about the benefits of their services and how it can help in your organization. So we hope to see you there. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.